I was making coffee when it happened. Just a regular Tuesday morning. The kind where you're half asleep, going through the motions, thinking about the meeting you have at 10 and whether you remembered to pay the electric bill. The coffee maker was doing its thing, that familiar gurgling sound that usually brings me peace. Sarah had already left for her morning run, or so I thought. But then I heard the front door open. Footsteps. Fast ones. "Tom!" Her voice was breathless. Excited. The kind of excited I hadn't heard in years, maybe. I turned around, coffee mug in hand. She was standing in the doorway of our kitchen, still in her running gear, her face flushed, not from exercise, from something else. "Sarah," I said, "you okay? You look—" "I couldn't wait," she interrupted. She was practically vibrating. Her hands were shaking as she reached into her jacket pocket. "I had to check. I had to know. Tom, She pulled it out. A white plastic stick. The kind I'd seen before, years ago, when we'd first started trying. Back when we were naive. Back when we thought it would be easy. I felt my stomach drop before my brain even processed what I was seeing. 2 pink lines. Clear. Distinct. Unmistakable. My wife was pregnant. "It's positive," she whispered, and then she laughed. A bright, pure, joyful laugh that cut through me like a knife. "Tom, we did it. We actually did it. It's a miracle." The coffee mug in my hand started to shake. Hot liquid sloshed over the side, burning my thumb. I didn't even feel it. I wasn't feeling joy. I wasn't feeling happiness or relief or any of the things I should have been feeling. I was feeling cold, hollowing dread, because it wasn't possible. I had cancer treatment 2 years ago. Testicular cancer, stage 2. They caught it early, which was good. They removed the tumor, which was necessary. And the chemotherapy that followed destroyed everything else. The oncology report was clear. 0 viable sperm count. Medically impossible to conceive naturally. I'd read that report so many times I had it memorized. I'd cried over it. I'd raged against it. I'd finally, painfully, accepted it. We had accepted it together, or so I thought. We'd had the fights, the tears, the stages of grief. We'd gone through all of it, side by side, holding hands through the worst of it. We'd talked about adoption, fostering. We'd started looking at agencies. We were supposed to start the paperwork next month. And she knew all of this. She'd been there for every appointment, every test, every humiliating moment when I had to provide samples that came back empty. She'd held my hand through all of it. She knew this was impossible. I stood there, frozen, staring at the test in her hand. My brain was trying to catch up, running through possibilities, explanations, anything that would make this make sense. A mistake, a false positive, a mix-up at the pharmacy. But those 2 pink lines were so clear, so definite. "Sarah," I finally managed to say. My voice sounded strange, distant. "What? What is this?" "What do you mean?" She laughed again, moving toward me. "It's a pregnancy test. We're having a baby." "That's not." I took a step back. The counter pressed against my spine. "That's not possible. You know that. I can't." "The doctors were wrong," she said, still smiling, still so happy. "They must have been wrong, Tom. This is proof. This is our miracle." "Doctors aren't wrong about 0 sperm count," I said slowly. Each word felt like pulling teeth. That's not how it works. There's no margin of error with 0. 0 means 0. Her smile flickered, just for a second, a flash of something in her eyes. Annoyance? Frustration? "You're not happy," she said. It wasn't a question. It was almost accusatory. "I'm confused," I said. "Sarah, I need you to explain this to me, because this doesn't make sense. This can't. Did you go to a sperm bank without telling me?" We talked about sperm banks. We discussed it as an option, but we'd agreed to do it together, to pick a donor together, to make that decision as a team. "A sperm bank?" Her voice turned sharp, cold. The happiness drained from her face in an instant. "Why would I go to some cold, sterile bank, Tom? Pick some random stranger from a catalog? That's not a family. That's not what I wanted." My heart was pounding now. "Then what did you want?" "Something real," she said. "Something personal. Not some anonymous donor who doesn't care about us. I wanted." She took a breath. "I wanted a gift. A gift." The words tasted wrong in my mouth. "From who?" She moved closer, grabbed my hands. Her eyes were shining with tears now, but she was still smiling. That same bright, triumphant smile. "From someone who loves us," she said softly. "Someone who wanted to help. Someone who understands what we've been through. Someone who's been there for us through everything." My blood turned to ice. "Sarah," my voice was barely a whisper. "Who?" "Don't be angry," she said quickly. "Please don't be angry. He did this out of love, out of friendship. He wanted to give us this gift. He wanted to help us become parents." "Who is he?" Each word came out like a bullet. "It's Ben," she said, as if it were the most natural thing in the world, as if she were telling me she'd borrowed sugar from the neighbors. "Ben offered to help us. And Tom, it's perfect. He's your best friend. He's practically family already. He has your sense of humor, your values, your—" I stopped hearing words. There was just a ringing in my ears, high-pitched and terrible. Ben Carter, my best friend since kindergarten. The guy who'd been my best man at our wedding. The guy who'd driven me to my chemo appointments when I was too sick to drive myself. The guy who'd sat with me in the hospital waiting rooms. The guy who'd held me when I broke down crying after getting the infertility diagnosis. Ben Ben. You slept with Ben, I said. It wasn't a question. No. Sarah's voice was sharp, offended. God, Tom, no. It wasn't like that. It wasn't. We didn't sleep together. It was clinical, professional. We went to a fertility clinic. They did artificial insemination. It was all very medical. I stared at her. My wife. The woman I'd married 6 years ago. The woman I thought I knew. You went to a fertility clinic, I said slowly, with my best friend, behind my back, to get pregnant, with his child, with our child, she corrected. Tom, listen to me. This baby is ours. Ben is just the donor, the biological donor. But this is our baby, yours and mine. Ben understands that. He doesn't want parental rights. He just wants to help us. He wants to give us the family we always dreamed of. The words washed over me like poison, each sentence revealing a new layer of betrayal. How long? I asked. How long have you two been planning this? She hesitated, just for a moment, but it was enough. 3 months, she said quietly. We started talking about it 3 months ago. I asked him to help us, and he said yes, because he loves us, because he wants us to be happy. 3 months, 90 days, 90 days of secret conversations, secret meetings, secret plans, all behind my back. The late nights, I said, pieces clicking together. You said you were working late on that new project. I was at the clinic, she admitted. They had evening appointments. It was easier that way. Less questions. And Ben? I asked. Where was Ben supposed to be? He told people he was working late too, Sarah said. Tom, we didn't lie. We wanted to surprise you. We wanted to make this a happy moment, a celebration. I started laughing. I couldn't help it. It was a horrible, broken sound. A surprise, I repeated. You wanted to surprise me with the news that my wife and my best friend went behind my back to have a baby together. That's the surprise. It's not like that, Sarah said, but her voice was losing its confidence now. You're making it sound. It wasn't an affair, Tom. It was artificial insemination. I never even saw him naked. There was no intimacy. Just science. Just science? I echoed. Just science that required the two of you to coordinate schedules, make appointments together, go to a clinic together, multiple times apparently, and never once mention it to me. The person who's supposed to be your husband, the person who's supposed to be making this decision with you. Sarah's face was changing now. The happiness was fading, replaced by defensiveness, anger even. You would have said no, she said. If I'd asked you, you would have said no. You would have insisted on going through all the proper channels, the adoption agencies, the waiting lists, the home studies. We could have been waiting for years, Tom. I'm 37. I don't have years. My biological clock is ticking. So you went behind my back, I said. You and Ben decided together without me that you knew what was best for my life, for our marriage, for our family. I did what I had to do, Sarah said, her voice rising. You were too broken, too defeated. You'd given up. Someone had to take action. Someone had to make this happen. I wasn't broken, I said, my voice shaking. I was grieving. There's a difference. And we were supposed to grieve together, as partners. But instead, you went to my best friend, and you two made plans. You formed a conspiracy. You used my grief, my medical condition, my entire situation as an excuse to do whatever you wanted. That's not fair, Sarah said. Fair? I was shouting now. You want to talk about fair? Is it fair that I'm finding out my wife is pregnant by walking into my kitchen on a random Tuesday morning? Is it fair that my best friend has been lying to my face for 3 months? Is it fair that everyone in this situation knew what was happening except Emmy? I was trying to help you, Sarah screamed back. I was trying to give you what you wanted. You wanted a baby. You cried about it. You said it was your biggest regret. I was trying to fix it by sleeping with my best friend. It wasn't sleeping together. Sarah's face was red now. How many times do I have to say it? We went to a clinic. A medical professional performed the procedure. Ben donated sperm. That's it. That's all that happened. Multiple times, I said coldly. It takes multiple attempts, multiple visits, multiple appointments where you two showed up together, sat in waiting rooms together, filled out paperwork together, made decisions together. Sarah went quiet. Did you hold his hand? I asked. The question came out of nowhere, but suddenly it was the most important thing in the world. In the waiting room, when you were nervous, did you hold his hand the way you used to hold mine? Tom, did you? Once, she whispered. Maybe twice. It was nerve-wracking. The procedure, the waiting. He was being supportive. I turned away from her, looked out the kitchen window at our backyard, the swing set we'd bought last year, thinking about adoption, thinking about foster kids, thinking about a future that didn't include this nightmare. I want you to leave, I said quietly. What? I want you to pack a bag and leave. Go to your sister's. Go to a hotel. I don't care. But I need you out of this house right now. Tom, we need to talk about this, Sarah said. We need to work through this. I know you're upset, but... Upset? I turned back to her. Sarah, you cheated on me. I didn't. You did, I interrupted. Maybe not physically. Maybe not in the way that would hold up in a court of law. But you went behind my back. You made intimate decisions with another man. You planned a pregnancy with another man. You're carrying another man's child. That's cheating. That's betrayal. That's the end of our marriage. Don't say that, Sarah said, tears streaming down her face now. Please don't say that. We can fix this. We can go to therapy. We can work through this. There's nothing to work work through, I said. You made your choice. You and Ben made your choice. Now I'm making mine. What about the baby? Sarah said. What about our baby? That's not my baby, I said. The words physically hurt to say. That's Ben's baby. Biologically, legally, every way that matters. But we can raise it together, Sarah pleaded. You can still be the father. You can still... No, I said. I can't. Every time I look at that child, I'll see your betrayal. I'll see Ben's face. I'll remember this moment, this conversation, this morning where my entire world fell apart because my wife and my best friend decided they knew what was best for me. Sarah was sobbing now, full body sobs, but I felt nothing, just cold emptiness. Pack a bag, I said again. You have 1 hour. Then I'm calling a locksmith. Sarah left, not quietly. There was screaming, pleading, a thrown coffee mug, hers, not mine, and a slammed door. But she left. I stood in my empty kitchen, surrounded by the wreckage of my morning, and pulled out my phone. I stared at Ben's name in my contacts. Ben Carter, with the football emoji, because we'd played together in high school. I'd had this number for 20 years. We'd texted thousands of times, called hundreds of times. My finger hovered over his name. Then I pressed it. He answered on the second ring. Hey man. His voice was bright, cheerful, completely normal. What's up? You calling to confirm for the game tonight? Because I already got the... Did you really think I wouldn't find out? I said quietly. Silence. Long, horrible silence. Tom, Ben said finally. His voice had changed completely. Tom, I can explain. She told me, I said. This morning, she took a pregnancy test. It's positive. And then she told me it was yours. Shit, Ben breathed. She wasn't supposed to tell you like that. We had a plan. We were going to sit you down together, explain everything, make you understand. Make me understand, I repeated. Make me understand how my wife and my best friend went behind my back to have a baby together. It wasn't like that, Ben said quickly. Tom, I swear, it wasn't like that. There was nothing romantic, nothing physical. It was just, she asked for help. She was desperate. You were depressed. You'd given up on having kids. She came to me and asked if I would donate, and I said yes, because I love you, man. I love both of you. I wanted to help by having a baby with my wife, by giving you guys the family you always wanted. Ben corrected. Tom, think about it. The kid will have your sense of humor because I got it from you. Your love of sports, your values, everything that matters. The DNA doesn't matter. What matters is who raises the kid, and that's you. You and Sarah. There is no me and Sarah anymore, I said. As of about 20 minutes ago, that marriage ended. What? Ben sounded genuinely shocked. Tom, no, you can't. I can, I said, and I am. And here's the part you need to hear carefully, Ben. You're no longer my friend. You're no longer welcome in my life. You don't call me. You don't text me. You don't show up at my house. If I see you in public, I will walk away. If we end up at the same event, one of us leaves. Are we clear? Tom, please, Ben said. His voice was breaking now. Please don't do this. We can talk about this. There's nothing to talk about, I said. You and Sarah made decisions about my life, my marriage, my future without me. You formed a we that didn't include me. You two are a team now. So be a team. Raise that baby together. Build a life together. But I'm not part of it. I never wanted to hurt you, Ben said. You have to believe that. I thought I was helping. You thought wrong, I said. And now you get to live with the consequences. Both of you. I hung up. My phone immediately started ringing. Ben calling back. I declined it. He called again. Declined. Again. Declined. Finally, I blocked his number. Then I sat down on my kitchen floor and let myself feel it. All of it. The betrayal, the rage, the grief, the absolute destruction of everything I thought my life was. I don't know how long I sat there. Could have been minutes. Could have been hours. By that evening, everyone knew. Sarah must have called her family. Her sister, Monica, showed up at 7 p.m., pounding on my door. Tom, open up, she yelled. We need to talk. I opened the door. Monica stormed in, her face red with anger. How could you throw her out? She demanded. She's pregnant. She's carrying your child, and you threw her out of her own house? It's not my child, I said calmly. It's Ben's child. Biologically, legally, every way that counts. But she did it for you, Monica yelled. She did it because she loves you, because she wanted to give you a family. She did it behind my back, I countered. She went to my best friend, coordinated a secret pregnancy, and told me only after it was too late to do anything about it. That's not love, Monica. That's control. That's manipulation. You're being ridiculous, Monica said. Plenty of couples use donors. Plenty of couples use friends as donors. This isn't that different. The difference, I said slowly, is that those couples make the decision together. They discuss it. They agree to it. They sign paperwork together. They go to appointments together. Sarah didn't give me that option. She decided what was best for me and did it anyway. Because you were depressed, Monica shot back. You were barely functioning after your diagnosis. Someone had to take charge. I wasn't depressed, I said. I was grieving, and I had every right to grieve. And part of that grief was accepting that biological children weren't in my future. Sarah and I had moved past that. We were looking at adoption. We had a plan. A plan we made together. Well, now you don't have to adopt, Monica said. Now you can have a child that's genetically close to you. Ben is your best friend. friend. That child will be... Ben was my best friend, I interrupted. Past tense. And I don't want anything to do with this situation. Sarah can raise that baby with Ben. They seem to make a good team. Monica stared at me. You're going to abandon your wife when she's pregnant? My wife abandoned our marriage when she went behind my back, I said. I'm just making it official. Monica left after that, but she wasn't the last visitor. My parents came next. They'd heard from Sarah's parents. They were confused, worried, trying to mediate. Son, my dad said carefully, your mother and I raised you better than this. You don't abandon your wife. She didn't abandon me, my mom added quickly. She made a mistake, a big one. But people make mistakes. You work through them. This wasn't a mistake, I said tiredly. It was past midnight now. I'd been explaining this for hours. A mistake is forgetting to pay a bill or saying the wrong thing in an argument. This was a 3-month conspiracy that involved my wife and my best friend lying to me every single day. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. But the baby, my mom started. The baby will be fine, I said. Ben makes good money. He can support Sarah and the child. They'll figure it out. You're talking about Ben like he's the father, my dad said. He is the father, I said. That's the whole problem. My parents left unsatisfied. Everyone left unsatisfied because they all wanted me to just accept it, to forgive, to move on, to raise another man's child and pretend everything was fine. But I couldn't. 3 days later, I got a text from an unknown number. Tom, it's Ben. I'm using my work phone because you blocked my personal. Please don't block this one too. We need to talk. I should have blocked it. I should have deleted it and moved on. But I didn't. Say what you need to say, I typed back. The response came immediately, like he'd been waiting. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything, but I need you to know that I'm sorry. I made a terrible decision. I should have said no when Sarah asked. I should have insisted that we talk to you first. I thought I was helping, but I see now that I was just making everything worse. I stared at the message, waited to see if there was more. There was. Sarah is staying with me. Not like that. I mean, she's at my apartment, but she's in the guest room. She didn't have anywhere else to go. Her sister's place is too small, and she couldn't afford a hotel. I'm not trying to start anything with her. I'm just trying to help. You've helped enough, I typed back. I know I have. But Tom, there's something you need to know. Something Sarah didn't tell you. My stomach dropped. What? The clinic wouldn't do it. I stared at the words, confused. What do you mean? The fertility clinic. They have rules. They won't do artificial insemination without the husband's consent if the woman is married. Sarah tried. She went to 3 different clinics. They all said no. My hands started shaking. Ben, what are you saying? There was a long pause. I could see the 3 dots indicating he was typing, then stopping, then typing again. Finally, I'm saying it wasn't artificial insemination, Tom. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She lied to you about that part. The world tilted. You slept with her, I typed. My fingers were numb. Twice. It took 2 times to conceive. She said it was the only way. She said you'd never have to know. She said it would be our secret. But I can't. I can't let you think it was some clinical thing. It wasn't. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I threw my phone across the room. It hit the wall and clattered to the floor. Sarah hadn't just betrayed me with a medical procedure. She'd slept with my best friend. Twice. Deliberately. And then lied about it to my face. The woman I married didn't exist. She'd never existed. I don't remember much after that. I remember calling a lawyer. I remember the words divorce, infidelity, irreconcilable differences. I remember signing papers, a lot of papers. I remember my lawyer asking, do you want to contest paternity? You could argue that you thought the child was yours. No, I said. I want nothing to do with it. The baby is Ben's. Legally, biologically, every way. Let him deal with it. I haven't seen Sarah since the day I told her to leave. The divorce was finalized last month. She didn't contest anything, probably because she knew she couldn't. Ben tried to reach out a few more times, sent emails, long ones, explaining, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. I deleted them all without reading past the first line. My parents finally accepted my decision. It took months, but they got there. My mom still cries sometimes. She grieves the grandchild she thought she'd have, but she understands why I can't be part of that child's life. I moved, sold the house. Too many memories, too much pain. I'm in a smaller place now, across town, where I don't run into mutual friends or familiar places. I joined a support group, not for infertility. I'd made my peace with that long ago, but for betrayal, for trauma, for people whose lives imploded because someone they trusted destroyed them. It helped. I'm not okay. Not yet. Maybe not for a long time, but I'm alive. I'm functioning. I'm moving forward. Sarah had the baby 3 weeks ago. I only know because my mom told me. She'd heard through the grapevine. A boy, healthy, 8 pounds, 3 ounces. They named him Thomas, after me. I didn't ask my mom any more questions after that. I didn't want to know. Some people tell me I'll regret this decision someday, that I threw away my marriage, my best friend, and a child over pride. But it wasn't pride. It was self-preservation, because if I'd stayed, if I'd accepted it, if I'd played along with their plan, I would have lost myself completely. I would have become a ghost in my own life, living out someone else's fantasy of what my family should be. Instead, I chose myself. I chose my sanity. I chose my truth. And maybe that makes me the villain in someone else's story. Maybe Sarah tells people I abandoned her when she needed me most. Maybe Ben tells people I couldn't forgive a simple mistake. But I know the truth. And the truth is, they didn't give me a gift. They gave me a nightmare. And I woke up. Final update. A lot of people have been messaging asking what happened, if I ever talk to them again, if I regret my decision. So here's the final update, and then I'm closing this chapter for good. Sarah and Ben are together. Officially. They moved in together 2 months ago. I guess when you have a baby together, you might as well commit. Or maybe they were always heading there and I was just the obstacle. I met someone. Her name is Rachel. She's a therapist. Ironic, I know. She knows my whole story. She doesn't think I'm a villain. She thinks I'm a survivor. We're taking it slow, but it's good. Really good. My company transferred me to another state. New job, new city, new start. I leave next month. No one from my old life has this address. I saw Ben once, by accident, at a grocery store 6 months ago. He was buying diapers. He looked tired. He saw me, opened his mouth to say something, then closed it. We stood there for a second. Two former best friends who'd become strangers. Then I turned and walked away. The baby thing? I made my peace with it. I might never have biological children. Rachel and I have talked about adoption if we get to that point, but I'm okay with just us two. I learned that family isn't about biology. It's about trust, respect, and choosing each other every day. So no, I don't regret my decision. Not even a little. Sarah and Ben made their choice. They chose each other, their plan, their baby. I chose myself. And for the first time in 3 years, I can sleep through the night.